Hello, good afternoon. This is attorney Karmika Rubin of the law offices of KB Rubin, PA, where we are here to fight with you. Today we're going to get into foreclosures in the state of Florida. Let's see what Florida says about foreclosures. Let me give you a little bit of background about who I am before we get into the actual session. I've been in the area of law since 1996. I've been degreed since 2002 and 2003. I've earned a total of 7 different degrees, including theology and also my Juris Doctorate and my Master's of Law in International Law, International Business Law, earned from Stetson University. What happened in 2010, there was a surge, and this is where my heart kind of became more open for those who are dealing with foreclosures. My heart became open because the Florida Bar says there's been an influx. There's been an increase of homes that are now experiencing foreclosures. There's been too many families that are going to court and they're losing without a chance. They don't have an opportunity. The massives were great. People were going in giving their emotional story to a judge, and the judge is sitting there saying, well, by law, what can I do? I can't make a ruling of law based on emotions. What have the plaintiff done wrong? And so that began an array of foreclosure defenses that were going out throughout the state of Florida. So the Florida Bar says we need as many attorneys as we can to come on board and to help us to fight and represent homeowners. So that's what this aim is today. This aim is to give an insight, pretty much what I tell my clients, of how foreclosure is set up and what happens if you find yourself in the midst of a foreclosure lawsuit action. So preferably this will assist you. This is not legal advice. This is not a binding contractual relationship where there's attorney-client privilege. This is general information, general knowledge. Please do not take what I'm saying and run out and just apply it without some type of guidance. You can pursue your own diligent research, but this is not specifically legal advice for your specific situation, because although the information is general in nature, every case is different. Every situation is different. Every factual lineup is different. So we just want you to have some basic knowledge of the foreclosure process. With that in mind, I want to break it up into three different phases. One is pre-foreclosure, one is foreclosure, and then one is what happens after the foreclosure is done. With pre-foreclosure, we're talking about the stage where either your mortgage payment is current or your mortgage payment is just a little bit behind. So they call it delinquent versus default. That's what I'm going to call this segment, delinquent versus default. Delinquent is when your lender recognizes you as being maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 months behind in making your mortgage payments. This is mortgage. We're not talking about tenants. We're not talking about leases. We're talking about an actual mortgage where a promissory note was signed, and when you sign the promissory note, it was secured by a piece of real property, whether it was a home, whether it was land. So delinquent says, we are still in the process, but we can accept your payments. Default, however, is when they stop that process. Default says we no longer are going to receive your payments. You're now in default, and we are going to accelerate your loan. Once your loan has been accelerated, then they send it off to their foreclosure attorney. They start reviewing everything, and they prepare for an actual foreclosure lawsuit. What options, you may ask, do I have between the delinquent and the default and it being sent to a foreclosure attorney? A lot of times I would say contact the lender to see what programs they offer. Many lenders do offer programs such as loan modification, an opportunity for you to go in and stretch out your payment, reduce your interest rate. They also have an opportunity for you to do a forbearance where they take the amount that was owed and they push it to the back of the loan. And once it goes to the back of the loan, it's pretty much saying, I am forbearing the amount of the loan until the end. So you don't have to make those immediate payments. You come out of default and you have an opportunity to avoid foreclosure. Repayment is when they take everything that's owed, and instead of putting it to the end of the loan, they break it up into payments. And once they break it up into payments, then you make your regular monthly amount on top of whatever those other increments are that you agreed to.